Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your boy Deluxe Man's WWE Extreme Rules 2017 review and results. You know how we do it. Your boy is here to talk about the show, talk about the results, talk about which match impressed me the most, and if it's really worth your time in terms of show quality. But before we get to that, as always, we are Samoa Joe live. That's right, baby. My boy. I'm feeling this. I'm really feeling this. I'm feeling this one right here. I'm happy they made this choice. I really am. Raw needed this, by the way. This right here. Watch out. Okay. I'm not making no promises about what's going to happen at the upcoming pay-per-view. Great balls of fire. My God, they're actually going through with it. There was a side of me that thought they were gonna pull back at the last second and turn it back to Bad Blood, because I thought that was the right way to go. But they're gonna go forth with Great Balls of Fire. They even have homeboy who sung the original song, Jerry Lee Lewis, singing his song. His song is like the theme for the show, and it's. Regardless, I am happy with the result of the main event. I am not as ecstatic about Extreme Rules as a show itself. I just kind of feel like middle of the road, kind of good in some parts, very bad in some parts, but then the rest just kind of fell in the middle. Not really a show I would go back and watch more than once. That's about it. I don't really think it's worth your time, honestly. Just go out of your way to see the main event, because that was a great match. The main event was great. And go out of your way to see the pre-show. To me, my favorite two matches of the entire night were the pre-show and the main event. Everything else just kind of fell in between. Now, some of you are saying that the IC Championship was your favorite match of the night, which, whatever, I guess. But for me, that one didn't click with me, and that's for a personal reason when it comes to the wrestlers in that match. But in terms of which matches I thought were the best, the highlights, definitely the main event. Great match. And, of course, the pre-show. Please go out of your way to see Apollo Crews and Kalisto. Do not sleep on that match. That match was good. I really enjoyed that match. As always, if this is the first time you're watching me, subscribe, like me on Facebook, at Deluxe Man World. Follow me on Twitter at DeluxeManV1. Donate to my Patreon if you would like to improve the quality of this channel. And of course, be able to request a review, request a live reaction, or request a video topic. It's all on my Patreon page. The link to that is down below in the description, as well as everything else. So Extreme Rules, this is one of those shows I didn't expect much out of. So the fact that I came out feeling bleh, I guess really, it's not really a bad feeling. It's just one of those things where I just go, yeah, it's part of the course. It's part of the course for Raw. Raw, as of lately, has been bad. Very bad. I have caught myself tuning out of the show. So it feels kind of good, really good, in fact, to finally be able to enjoy something. Which is why that main event was really good for me, because now I can see that things are going to get really exciting going forward. At least for me as a wrestling fan. I think Samoa Joe fighting Brock Lesnar is a prospect that has so many possibilities. And you know what? Let's get right into it. Let's talk about the main event, because that's what you're here to hear. The Fatal 5-Way match. Again, great match. Definitely the highlight of the show, as I predicted. Because there was nothing else on this show that was going to stand out. And yeah, I thought all 5 men, even Roman Reigns, went in there and did their thing. Roman Reigns, for the most part, I got to point this out, he was working as the heel of the match. I like how when the match started, everybody else was fighting and Roman Reigns was just standing there, just waiting for someone to go after him. Just letting his opponents wear each other out. And I just thought that was hilarious. I'm like, you dick. You're just gonna let them wear each other out and then pick up the scraps. You know, it's genius, but it's a dick move. So it is what it is. For me, the match from that point forward was all right. It wasn't really clicking for me. You saw Samoa Joe and Bray Wyatt working together. It picked up once we got those two amazing spots. We see Finn Balor locked into Coquina Clutch, and then here comes Roman Reigns to spear Finn Balor and Samoa Joe through the barricade, both at the same time. And then right after that, immediately, Seth Rollins flies off the top rope with a frog splash and splashes Bray Wyatt through the table. Awesome. Two awesome spots. And it didn't let you go from that point forward. Just a great match until the end. And that ending was great. I love the ending because it looked like Finn Balor was going to win. And then Samoa Joe locked on that Coquina Clutch at the last second and walks out the victor. And please go out of your way to see Samoa Joe's promo on Raw Talk, because he cut one hell of a promo. A promo that I kind of wish he would have saved for Raw, but he might do it again on Raw. Absolutely. Samoa Joe killed it, man. I think he killed it. And for the most part, I have no complaints. No complaints for Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar. You're not going to get a peep out of me. The only thing I would have to complain about, this is the nitpickiest of the nitpicks that I can pick. If you caught all that. It's just a small complaint, really. Very small complaint. I wish this match was happening at WrestleMania. That is it. If my only complaint is that Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar should be happening at WrestleMania, then it's really not a complaint whatsoever. Seriously. Come on now. This match is going to be great. I don't prefer a WWE pay-per-view name to be called Great Balls of Fire, because then I have to tell my friends I'm going to stay home to watch Great Balls of Fire. My God, it's so embarrassing. It is. It's embarrassing. But I got to admit, though, I can't miss Samoa Joe and Lesnar. And that match by itself is going to make it worth the watch. Hell yeah. Come on now. Joe versus Brock Lesnar for the first time ever. If you've seen Samoa Joe go all out in any of his matches, whether it's in TNA, ROH, or even here in NXT and WWE, you know this man, when he turns it on, he can go. And Brock Lesnar is the exact same thing. Those two definitely have the possibility, the capability of having a match of your candidate if you let them go all out. Now, at the same time, under the wrong circumstances on bad nights, those two could also stink up the joint. Although I don't think it's going to happen. I think these two are going to go in there and actually have one hell of a show. I expect these two to tear it down at Great Balls of Fire. Now, those of you who are upset, because I'm seeing some people in the live chat who are mad that Finn Balor didn't win. I said in my preview that although I picked Finn Balor to win, I was not comfortable with him winning and fighting Brock Lesnar at this pay-per-view. Of all pay-per-views, Great Balls of Fire. I personally think Finn Balor should fight Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, if not Survivor Series. He should fight Brock Lesnar. Not at Great Balls of Fire. Nah, fight Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, bruh. You know, I think I just spoiled the result of Great Balls of Fire, which, yeah, Brock Lesnar's going to win, unfortunately. With that said, look, Joe having a great match with Brock Lesnar is what he needs right now. Because eventually, Joe will become a world champion. Oh, without question. He's going to become a world champion. Don't even think that he won't touch that belt or a belt. He has to, because he's that awesome. He's going to touch a belt here in WWE. He better, or we have a problem. He will be a world champion. I do think it's a little too soon for him to win that belt. It's an early prediction. With that said, if I was going to pick someone to beat Brock Lesnar, it would be Samoa Joe. And if Joe did beat Brock Lesnar at Great Balls of Pyro, that's what I was going to say. Flame on! Great Balls of Fire. Oh my God. I gotta hear these guys promote this pay-per-view for the next month. It's going to be too much. But, you know, him beating Brock Lesnar is not really a big deal to me. And I can believe it. That's what's crazy about this match. It's a match that, to a lot of fans who don't think that Finn Balor and Brock Lesnar is believable, man, at least Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar is believable for you. So, yeah, absolutely. Let me get your thoughts on this. Let's go to the live chat. Live chat. How do you feel about Samoa Joe beating Brock Lesnar? If you're watching me on a different platform, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. But let's get some thoughts from the peanut gallery over here. What we got? I agree that Finn Balor should fight Lesnar at SummerSlam, says Ultra Shadow. Yeah, man. Save that match for later. Don't give that match away for some random pay-per-view. That's too important. Way too important for some Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view in July. I'm just saying. I don't want Samoa Joe. Wait. Lots of comments coming in. Okay, I don't want Samoa Joe to be just another guy for Lesnar. I want him to be taken seriously and be the guy to beat him. Hey, you know what? I'm not going to tell you I don't feel you, because I do feel you. Look at it this way. It's their first encounter. If they ever do have a rematch, you can then play up the idea that Samoa Joe, if I was booking the match, I would have it end in a draw. Like Joe and Lesnar just go to an all-out brawl, and Joe came this close, but it ends in a draw. And then in the next encounter, he finds a way to outsmart Lesnar and beat him. So look at it as a stepping stone to a future match, if you will. I wouldn't take it as, oh my God, it's just another guy for Lesnar to beat. Look at it in a positive light. Let's see here. I am not mad that Samoa Joe won. I just subscribed. Oh, thanks for subscribing. I appreciate that. Got a lot of comments about other matches, which I'll get to in a second. I'm going to get to other matches in a second. Those of you just joining me, I've only discussed the main event. I haven't talked about anything else on the show. So hang tight with that. Hang tight for that, guys. Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar. Yes. Let's see. My great balls are on fire after this match. You have fun with that. Now, Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe is a match I want to see. I mean, you already saw it enough in NXT, but why not see on the main roster too? Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar needs an MMA stipulation. Wow. Wouldn't that be a hell of a fight? They give it that UFC build and then give it the UFC fight feel. Man, hey, these two can do it. Why the hell not? I definitely would buy it. All right. Just a great main event. I think it's a great idea. I look forward to seeing it. I mean, that's the only match I would look forward to, honestly. If that match wasn't happening, listen. If Brock Lesnar wasn't going to show up at Great Balls of Fire, do you really think I would watch this pay-per-view? They better be lucky they have Brock Lesnar. They better be lucky because, quite frankly, if he wasn't there fighting Samoa Joe, this pay-per-view would go right over my head. I wouldn't even think about watching it. I wouldn't. Why the hell would a wrestling fan want to watch a show called WWE Great Balls of Fire? At least Brock Lesnar gives it some legitimacy. Some, but only some. All right. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. And let me just say this too. Roman Reigns didn't win. He didn't win, guys. Right? He didn't win. No, nobody cares. Nobody? Okay, who cares? All right, let's get on to the rest of the show. Let's talk about the pre-show. Let's talk about that pre-show match. Apollo Crews versus Kalisto. They had a really, really good match. Damn good match. Honestly, I'm upset that this didn't open the show. This was so good that literally, I gotta be honest with you. I thought this was better than pretty much all the other matches besides the main event. I really enjoyed this match. This was a good match. I like the story they told. I like what's going on with Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil, where Titus O'Neil is corrupting Apollo. Because Apollo is this white bread babyface persona that's just trying to have fun, trying to wrestle, and live his dream. He's a rookie. He's a youngling. He doesn't know any better. And here comes Titus O'Neil to corrupt him because Titus O'Neil is bitter. And Titus O'Neil feels like, look, if I can't live my dream, if I can't be a world champion, I'll create the next world champion. And so now he's his mouthpiece. And I love what they're doing here because Apollo Crews is finding himself struggling. He's struggling on SmackDown. Now he's here on Raw. And he's having trouble beating Kalisto. Kalisto is beating him in every single match, at every single turn. And apparently the only way to beat him based off of Titus O'Neil is to cheat. So in this match, these two went in there, first off, had an awesome contest. Kalisto is way too good. He is way too good to not be in the Cruiserweight division. Why is he not in the Cruiserweight division? Why the hell is Kalisto, when you have him on Raw, not wrestling Neville, not wrestling Noam Dar, not wrestling Cedric Alexander, not wrestling Akira Tozawa, Brian Kendrick? Why is he just wrestling random people on the roster and not tearing it up in the Cruiserweight division? What the hell are we doing with this guy? Why is he on the pre-show? What the hell? They really don't like this. They don't like Kalisto. They don't like him. But every single time he has a match on these pay-per-views, whether it's SmackDown or Raw, he has a good match. He is good at what he does. Sure, he's botched it here and there. It happens. But for the most part, I'm thinking, what was the last bad? Well, that dumpster match with Braun Strowman was horrible. Okay, but other than that match that was destined to fail, what was the last bad Kalisto match? Kalisto match. I don't remember one. And Apollo Crews, I keep saying this. Yes, he doesn't have a character, but this boy, this man has all the tools to really do some great things in WWE. Once he gets that persona, once we find him a character that's engaging, watch out. Watch out. He is going to take everything by the reins, and it's going to be his show. And to see these two go in there and have an awesome match, it works. And then you see Apollo Crews, when he's having trouble beating Kalisto, he goes to Titus O'Neil and he's yelling at Titus, and Titus is yelling at him, cheat, cheat, cheat. He's like, no, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. Kalisto capitalizes, does the Salito del Sol, knocks off freaking Titus O'Neil at the same time because he runs up Titus and then transitions into his finisher, and then he beats Apollo Crews, which is a great setup for an eventual heel turn. That heel turn is going to be great, but it's going to make sense. I can't hate on this match because it's setting up a story that I'm interested in. I want to see Apollo go heel. I do. I want to see this guy go in there and build a character and just watch him rise. And I think this is good for Titus O'Neil as well. So I thought the pre-show was really good. Definitely the second best match of the entire show. That's just my opinion, of course. So yeah, get these two off the pre-show. Like, I would have preferred that mixed tag. Definitely that mixed tag be on the pre-show. But whatever. That's dumb to me. All right, let's get to the actual card now. The show opened up with the Raw Intercontinental Championship. Disqualification for Dean Ambrose will lose him the championship. The last 5 minutes of this match was done very well. I felt like the moment the turnbuckle spot happened, because throughout the match, I was complaining that Dean Ambrose isn't bothered all that much by the DQ stipulation. I mean, you would think this would be a hindrance to him, that he would go crazy not being able to use a steel chair or cheat, or not cheat, but take advantage of the Extreme Rules, the Extreme Rules, you know, what they have. Because every other match has Extreme Rules, kind of. But he can't do it. But that's his world. Dean Ambrose lives for Extreme Rules, and he can't do it. So the stipulation should be really messing him up. It should be screwing his ass up. But apparently, he was fine with it. He was just in there wrestling. So I just sat here and went, what was the point? And honestly, let me ask you this. If the match didn't have that DQ stip to it, would it have changed anything? Like, just imagine that the DQ stip didn't matter. Well, it would have taken away some drama spots. Like the time where Maurice slacked Miz, and the referee was going to DQ him, and then he threw her out instead. And then, well, I'll tell you what. Let me be fair. I do think the DQ stipulation really helped the last 5 minutes. Okay, well, I guess for the majority of the match, it didn't matter. But for those last 5 minutes, it did come into play, and it was great. So when the stipulation came into play, it was awesome. But for me, when they were just wrestling, I just kind of felt like, what was the point? Really. Which is why I thought the last 5 minutes was very well done. I did love how Miz beat Dean Ambrose clean, because although he shoved Dean Ambrose into the referee and it looked like the referee was going to disqualify him, he went up behind him, hit him with the skull crushing finale, and pins a 1, 2, 3 clean. He beats him clean. And first off, Miz becomes the first. He becomes a seven-time IC champion, and the only person that has more IC championship wins than him right now is Chris Jericho. So that's a big, big deal for him. Congratulations to the Miz. But I'm so happy Miz is IC champion, because to me, and I thought about this too, when it comes to Dean Ambrose, I don't care anymore, man. There's something off about him. That aura that was there during his time with the Shield, even after that, when he was going on that singles run and he was fighting Seth Rollins, that's gone. This Dean Ambrose just seems bland and boring, Dean Ambrose. And I just can't get into it, man. I have no reason to cheer for Dean Ambrose. Again, part of the reason why I thought this feud was just boring on Raw, there was no reason to boo The Miz. Why should I boo The Miz? Someone told me on Twitter, well, Miz tried to low blow him in the match. I'm like, okay, true. But then Dean Ambrose low blowed him. So I'm just like, what? Like, you guys told me that Dean Ambrose disqualified himself in a Raw, and that's why this match was made. Like, what kind of baby face? What? Like, that's just stupid. It makes no sense whatsoever. So I have no reason to cheer on Dean Ambrose. Really. And because of that, I lost interest. I lost interest in the character. I don't care anymore. And I'm at the point now where Dean Ambrose being released, like if he was to be released tomorrow and go back to being Jon Moxley, that would be an improvement. I'm going to say that again. If Dean effing Ambrose was to be released tomorrow and go back to being Jon Moxley, that would be an improvement. That's how bad his character is. And I can't believe I just said that. He desperately needs something new. I don't care if you turn him heel. Turn him heel, whatever. Do something fast. Because maybe then I can cheer him. I don't know. Just do something. Because his character is not interesting. I don't care. And it just goes to show you that WWE has forgotten how to book their baby faces. Heels and baby faces. Because the heels are loved, and the baby faces, unless you're a Finn Bálor or a Seth Rollins, are cheered. Samoa Joe is loved. Bray Wyatt is loved. And they're heels. It makes no sense. It really does. So that match was decent. I didn't think it was horrible. I didn't think it was good. It was decent. Again, the last 5 minutes were done very well when the stipulation came into play. Everything else, I just kind of felt like, okay, it's a match. Whatever. After that, we had the interview with Bayley. And when I saw this interview, I knew she was in trouble. Baltimore booed her. They booed her badly, man. This whole thing with her is not working on Raw. It's not. I think that This Is Your Life segment that she did this past Monday, yeah, that screwed her up. You know, I figured it was. I didn't think it would hurt her this badly, but it's really hurt her credibility. It made her look like an idiot. It made her look dumb, incompetent. And this promo didn't help her either. There was a forced reference to Wonder Woman. And I'm just like, oh my God. Poor Bayley. And it's sad, man. It's sad. I hate what they've done to her. What they've done to her. Because at least on NXT, yeah, she's had the quirky, dorky, kind of introverted personality. But on NXT, her promos weren't written. Her promos were not written. They were coming from her, off the top of her head. And this promo was clearly written. And it's just not working for me, man. I have a lot more to say about Bayley in a second because I got to talk about that damn Kendo stick on a pole match. Great. Next up was that Rich Swann and Sasha Banks mixed tag against Alicia Fox and Noam Dar. It was an average match. I didn't care. It was there. I didn't have much to say about it. It happened. Sasha Banks dances like a white girl. She does. I'm sorry. I love Sasha, but you dance like a white girl. I mean, you're having fun. I mean, do your thing, but oh my God, that's yeah. She dances like a white girl. That's all I gotta say about it. Love Sasha, but that's what you do. I did like this. I did like what they did with Alyx Sampson because we had it was like a prelude or a post match, not a post match, but almost like an intermission kind of segment where we had Alyx Sampson sitting in the ring, spotlight on top of him, and a stool with his guitar going all Hollywood rock on us in 2003. Leaving Sacramento, I won't stay, but I'll be sure to come back when the Lakers beat the Kings in May. Love it. I love that gimmick, man. Rock was awesome in 2003. He really was. But Alyx Sampson kind of had that feel to him. And I'm thinking, yeah, this is good. He comes into every single city and then he mocks them and insults them with a song. Yeah, that works. See, with NXT, because it was just one arena, he couldn't do much. There was not much to do with that gimmick. But now that he's going from city to city, he has material to work with. And each city can be a different kind of song. So let's see what happens. He can probably make this work a lot better on Raw. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with him. I like it. I like what they're doing. It's that Kendo stick match. Yes. Great. Okay. Hold on. Wait 1 minute. Let me get ready for this crap. Kendo stick on a pole match. Vince Russo. Anything with a Kendo stick. Anything with a pole just doesn't work. Kendo stick on a pole, Viagra on a pole, this water bottle on a pole, me on a pole. It doesn't work. Okay, but guys, it's just Alexa Bliss versus Bayley. I got one thing to say. Good night to Bayley's momentum, to her babyface momentum. This match was bad. It was pointless, absolutely pointless. And it did no favors for Bayley. None whatsoever. Bayley got the Kendo stick first, which I thought was actually appropriate because I'm thinking, yeah, she's going to go after that Kendo stick and she's probably going to be living up Alexa Bliss. No. Bayley got the Kendo stick and then she proceeds to waste so much freaking time that even someone like me, who's a hardcore fan, I'm yelling at the freaking TV, hit her with the Kendo stick. Hit her. It made her look so incompetent and daft. It did. And she didn't even hit Alexa once. Not one freaking time with the Kendo stick. Look, WWE. There's a difference between making your baby faces look sympathetic and then making them look like idiots, buffoons. I can get behind a character that's trying to be something big, that's putting their heart and soul, but coming up short. That's someone I can get behind. What I can't get behind is someone that just acts like an idiot, that does stupid things and doesn't think things through. And if I am in that situation and I would have done something better than they would have done, why should I get behind that person? What you're doing with Bayley is not helping her get over. It's making her look weak. Completely freaking weak. And it makes no sense because, look, you can play up the story that Bayley is not extreme. Fine. She wants to play by the rules. When the rules say it is legal to use a kendo stick, it is legal to use this weapon in this match, why the hell would Bayley's morals come into play? It's legal. You can use this in this match. And why wouldn't Bayley, after Alexa embarrassed her, took her championship, mocked her, beat her up with a kendo stick, why would she still be hesitant about using a freaking kendo stick? She got wrecked. Alexa Bliss went in there and completely wrecked her. And not in any way felt like Bayley could have won at all. I just felt like, yeah, she's gonna lose, and quite frankly, she deserved to lose. I don't feel bad that she lost. And then after the match, she started pouting and crying. I'm just like, what are you crying for? You let that match go. It was ridiculous. It's yet another example of baby faces just failing on the main roster. It's another babyface that was killed by the main roster. Or in particular, on Raw. Raw has killed another babyface. And I'm sick and tired of people defending this. You're going to get people come in, oh, it doesn't really matter. She's a bad character anyway. Oh, it doesn't really matter that Bayley lost because she wasn't going to get over anyways. How the hell do you know? It would have been, how do you know it was a bad character? First off, Bayley at one point was literally, if not the top babyface in wrestling, one of the top babyfaces in wrestling, 2015, 2016. Literally, the top, if not one of the top babyfaces in wrestling, had the exact same gimmick, but was on NXT. Why did it work for her? Because NXT treated her like she was a legit competitor. They treated her like she was the girl next door, but she could get it done inside the ring. She could actually wrestle. It's crazy. It's ridiculous to me that almost 2 years ago, Bayley and Sasha Banks were having match of the year. And here Bayley is now. Even Sasha. Look at them now. Sasha in a random ass mixed tag that's not going to do anything for her. And Bayley looking like a freaking chump. It's killing me, man. It's ridiculous. And it's almost, you know what? It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Just trash. This was a massacre. It's a massacre of a babyface. They castrated, completely murdered Bayley's character. And then all of a sudden, she's going to come out on Raw tomorrow. What is she going to do? You're going to give her another title shot? What? This is the problem with Raw. This is a problem with WWE, period. You know, we can't expect these people, these wrestlers, to truly be able to get over when they're not given platforms to do so. This entire feud was garbage. Horrible. Just downright trash. And it's ridiculous. I mean, again, I'm going to the live chat. Live chat. Talk to me. Is it just me? How do you feel about it? How do you feel about it, man? Because I'm sitting here trying to understand why WWE would go out of their way to ruin such an amazing goddamn character. I just can't. I can't get it. I can't understand it at all. I can't. So let's see here. WWE ruined Bayley. Absolutely. Absolutely. I was screaming at the TV for Alexa to beat her ass with the kendo stick again. That's how incompetent and stupid WWE has booked Bayley. That comes from Jake. Thank you, Jake, for your opinions on that. TV 14 must return. Hey, who knows, man? Raw ruined Bayley. I agree. Raw kills baby faces. I agree. Bayley's character is cringy AF. I mean, she is now. I can't even defend her now. It's that bad. Raw has screwed up Bayley. I agree. Let's see here. Oh my God. Okay. Delete. It's bad. It's really, really bad. Okay. Yeah. Alexa Bliss retains. And the match was underwhelming. It's just not a good match. It was bad. It was trash. It was trash. It was trash. So whatever. Whatever. And they're still gonna try to get her over. Watch them try to get her over now. Oh my god. Whatever. Next up is a steel cage match for the Raw Tag Team Championships. The Hardy Boys versus Cesaro, or Sheamus and Cesaro. Jeff's whisper in the wind off the cage saved this match from being a straight up average, passable, skip it match. Seriously. Because for the most part, I was bored watching this match. I was just looking at it like, seriously, nothing's happening. First off, the idea that you could re-enter yourself into a cage match when it literally said all you had to do was escape the cage once. When the hell has it ever been possible for someone to escape the cage but then re-enter themselves if they go back into the cage? When was that a part of the rules? What? That's retarded. But Jeff Hardy, again, it just, when you stop and think about how they're trying to get these people over and they wonder why people don't get over, it's because the booking is stupid. So Cesaro doesn't beat the Hardy Boys by just dominating them and proving to be the better tag team. They beat them because they got lucky, one. But the way they beat them is retarded because Jeff Hardy did exit the cage. And then what ended up happening was Jeff Hardy enters the cage, does the whisper in the wind. And then after hitting whisper in the wind, Hardy's to try and go through the door, and Cesaro and Sheamus are trying to go over the top. Matt Hardy gets to the outside. To me, the match was over. Match is done because Jeff Hardy already exited the cage, and then Matt Hardy exits. So it's over. But because Matt Hardy's trying to pull Jeff Hardy out of the ring, who's still, again, he's been cleared. He actually got out of the cage. As Cesaro and Sheamus won because freaking Jeff Hardy and Matt couldn't get out the cage in time. Whatever. Some of you are saying it doesn't matter because it protects them. It's just, yeah, it protects them, but it's stupid. It's just, whatever. Whatever. I don't care. I just want the Broken Hardy gimmick to come back. Seriously, bring back that freaking Broken Hardy gimmick. For the love of God. Please, get done with this TNA bullcrap. Take these guys to court. Do what you got to do. And then come back with this broken gimmick because I'm done. I can't keep dealing with the stupid booking, with the insulting way they're putting these guys over. It's dumb. It's so insulting that I have to question, what are we doing? Like, why are we watching this crap? I can't. I can't keep doing this, man. It's ridiculous. Then we got, I think next was the Cruiserweight Championship. Yeah, next is the Cruiserweight Championship match. Submission. Neville versus Austin Aries. They did their best. I'm sorry. I can't get into these Cruiserweight matches because they're not Cruiserweight matches. Neville versus Austin Aries, when you stop and think about it, how is it any different than any other match in the show? Quite honestly, if I didn't know any better, the Cruiserweight match was the pre-show. Because Kalisto and Apollo Crews wrestled like cruiserweights. These guys wrestled like regular guys. I mean, was it a bad match? No, it was there. I think the first half was kind of dull and boring. It was so boring that Baltimore pulled out a beach ball. You know when they pull out that beach ball, you've lost them. You've lost them once they pull out the beach ball. But look, no disrespect to Neville and Austin Aries, but WWE's not doing y'all any favors. Y'all can't wrestle the style that I've wanted to see you guys wrestle since the Cruiserweight division, since the Cruiserweight Classic. And it's ridiculous to me that we still haven't gotten it. Look, I'm happy Neville won. I like how he won. I love how he did the red arrow to Austin Aries' back and then locks in the Rings of Saturn to pin him, to make him submit. And that was cool. That was good. And I think he should hold that belt forever. Not forever, but for a long time. But unless we start getting some Cruiserweight style matches, I'm not going to care. This is why 205 Live is not working, and it's why it needs to be canceled. it needs to be canceled. Look, Kalisto, to me, should be the next opponent for Neville. He should. And those two would tear the house down. Kalisto versus Neville would be the kind of cruiserweight match that I would love to see. We got to get that match next. More than likely, it will be Cedric Alexander next. I'm cool with that. But we have got to get some actual cruiserweight matches in this freaking cruiserweight division. I'm tired of seeing these guys wrestle like everybody else. What's the point? Oh, my God. So Neville retains, and then Samoa Joe is going to fight Brock Lesnar at the next pay-per-view. Again, average show, middle of the road, nothing special overall. I just kind of feel like we gotta start getting better from these guys, man. This is ridiculous. I feel like overall, if it wasn't for Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe, and this is how I really feel, Samoa Joe Brock Lesnar is what's saving Raw from me skipping the next pay-per-view. Because if Brock Lesnar was not going to be there and not fighting Samoa Joe, because if it was going to be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, all the more reason to skip the next pay-per-view. But since they did Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar, I'm kind of sitting back and going, okay, I might check that out. Might. Who the hell am I kidding? I'm going to check it out. But I'm sorry. It's getting to the point where I am just getting drained. I'm getting drained watching Raw, man. At least with SmackDown, SmackDown might not be lighting the world on fire, but it makes sense. Raw makes no goddamn sense half the time, if not majority of the time. But give me your thoughts about the show. How'd you guys feel about it? Talk to me down in the comments. Live chat. Give me your grades. What grades are you going to give this show? How you feeling? How we feeling right now? Because, Jesus, Lord have mercy. My God, if it wasn't for the main event in the pre-show, I shudder to think how bad this show would be. Those two matches saved the show. It did. We got a C, D+, D+. Wow. C-, C, C-. The most retarded tag team steel cage match of all time. I agree. C-. Screw this show. Raw needs to be killed. Raw, #Raw is dead. Bailey is the new John Cena. Passable, so C. Incomplete, 10. Didn't watch. Well, I'm happy you're watching me to get my thoughts on it. Samoa Joe should rape and murder Brock Lesnar. I would love to see that, but I doubt it's going to happen. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for watching. You guys are awesome. As always, like I said before, like and subscribe here on YouTube. Follow me on Facebook at DeluxeManWorld. Follow me on Twitter at DeluxeManVX1. Donate to my Patreon or donate to my PayPal, wherever one you want to donate to generously. And thank you guys for watching. This is your boy Deluxe Man signing off. I'll catch you in my next video. Peace out.